I know everybody hypes up book hauls, but can we hype up Kindle hauls? Hello bookish people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. In today's video, we're going to be filming my February book haul. These are all the books that I bought in the month of February. So I'm starting to do monthly book hauls instead of just doing them here and there because I buy way too many books, you know? So we gotta break them up month by month. And honestly, I didn't think I bought that many books this month, but like we got quite a lot to talk about. I think we have right under 20 books, which sounds like a lot. And it is a lot, but just know I thrift for a living. So I thrift pretty much every single day, Monday through Friday. And the one thrift store I primarily go to, which is the Goodwill outlet, you get books for 25 cents. So you're telling me I'm finding books that I want to read for 25 cents and I'm not supposed to buy them? Like it's just not happening. And then the other thrift stores I go to, like paperbacks are $1 and hardcovers are $2. Like, and you're expecting me to not overbuy books when I'm finding them at these prices? So yeah, and then also I am addicted to Kindle daily deals. So we have some Kindle daily deals to go through as well. And yes, like out of my big stack of books I got here, only 3 of them were purchased at retail price. And I'm so sorry, look at my fingers. This is why you do not have acrylics and go to the Goodwill outlet because you smash your finger and your nail falls off. So that was fun. Anyway, that's like so besides the point. And let's go into all the books. So first we're gonna start off with the books that I bought retail. So there's only 3 of them. And the first one is Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. Now this one was actually a pre-order. And this is Tessa Bailey's newest release. I really enjoyed It Happened One Summer. I can't say I'm well versed in Tessa Bailey books. I've only read It Happened One Summer. Have I read another one? No, I think I've only read one book by her. No, that's not true. I read My Summer Vacation or My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I read that one as well. So I can't say I'm well versed in her like work, but I love her. Like her as a person, her TikTok, love her. So I'm willing to just buy anything by her just to support her because I just love her TikTok. So yes, I bought this book and I'm very excited to read it. Again, I really enjoyed It Happened One Summer, so I'm very excited for this one as well, and I'm just excited. Okay, so we bought that one. The next book we have is actually my February book of the month pick, and this is like the first month I bought one book, you guys. Usually I have my whole box loaded up with books, but this time I only picked one, and that is The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. So you have this girl, and she's a writer, and she gets invited to this writing retreat by her favorite like female horror author, and they have to write a book in 30 days, but then sinister things start happening and someone goes missing, and it's just, you know, it's just your classic mystery thriller. Okay, I'm excited to read it. And we'll just see how it goes, okay? And then the last book that I bought, this book I actually bought a while ago. I talked about the ebook in last month's video. I received the hardcover this month, and that is Trust in the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson, and I have not taken the shrink wrap off because I am a weirdo. No, it's not really that. It's that I want to create my perfect library. I want to have, like, I am on the Fairy Loot waiting list right now. I want to focus on special editions. And I just don't want to take it out of the plastic wrap until my perfect library is built, right? Like, why wait? Why get dust on it? Why let it get beat up until it's in its perfect spot? So it is staying in the shrink wrap until my library is the way I want it to be. So yeah, we have Trust in the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson, but is this book just not the most stunning book you've ever seen in your life? I'm absolutely obsessed with it, and I cannot wait for more of his work to come out. This is the first book I ever read by him. I absolutely loved it. Dare I say it's one of my all-time favorite fantasy books ever. So yeah, I am very excited about his other books coming out, and yes, I got it in the mail and I had to show it off. Even though I talked about it last month, we're talking about it again because it just deserves all the hype. Now let's go through all the books that I thrifted this month because there's quite a bit of them. So the first 2 books I thrifted this month are both by Scott Westerfield, and that is The Uglies and The Pretties. I don't know how long that this series is. I think this is a 4-book series, right? Is that correct? 4-book series. And yeah, so these are the first 2 books in the series. I got them for 25 cents each. This is a YA series I have been wanting to read, so like I'm not gonna say no. This 50 cents for both. I actually have no idea what it's about. No clue whatsoever. I just know it's a YA series and I want to read it, so I bought them. Next book I picked up is Emma by Jane Austen, which I actually already owned this book, but I owned like the ugly Penguin Classics edition, just like the plain black book with like an ugly, no, just, you know, boring. I found this one at the thrift store. Look at this gorgeous edition. It's gray. It has pretty flowers on it. We love it. So much prettier. Like, I'm going to buy this for $1. I think this one came from a dollar thrift store. So I'm going to buy it for $1 and replace my ugly edition with a pretty edition. So there we go. And now I actually do need to read this book. I was like, oh, I'm going to thrift all Jane Austen's books. Once I thrift them all, then I'll read all of them. I thrifted all of them like a year ago. Still haven't read one, but now I have a pretty edition of this one, so it's coming. My time's coming soon with some Jane Austen. I think this one was my most recent pickup, and that is Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this one I picked up for $1. I have read her for like most current books, right? So Daisy Jones, Evelyn Hugo, Malibu Rising, and Carrie Soto. I have not read her backlist yet, and her backlist also has a lot of hype behind it, specifically this book, Maybe in Another Life. I believe this is the one where like the girl like loses her high school sweetheart or something, and then she gets remarried, or she like gets in a relationship, and then the guy comes back, her high school sweetheart comes back like years later and is like, I didn't really die, here I am, but she's like already created this life with somebody else. I think that's what this book is about. Okay, so I'm editing this video right now, so I looked up the synopsis to this book to see if I was like anywhere near correct, and no, that was a completely different Taylor Jenkins Reid book. That is not what this book is about at all. Not that I'm mad about it, because like I'll literally read anything by her, and I haven't read any of her backlist yet, but yeah, no, that is just like the completely incorrect synopsis for this book. I'm not really sure, but I'm very excited because it's TJR. It's Taylor Jenkins Reid. Like, come on, like you can't not be excited to find a Taylor Jenkins Reid book at the thrift store for $1. So yeah, here we go. I got this one and I'm very excited to read it. The next book I picked up, which honestly, I don't know when I'm going to read it, but that is A Middle Game by Shauna McGuire. So I found this at Goodwill. I actually paid $2 for this book, and I don't know that I necessarily want it. Why did I like, honestly, this was like one of my more questionable pickups. This book, the reason it's a questionable pickup is because I heard the sequel is terrible. And then the first book, I like, even people who love the first book don't love the sequel. And then the first book, I've had split reactions on the booktubers I watch. I have seen half the booktubers I watch absolutely love this book. And then I've seen another half of booktubers I watch that don't love this book. So, I don't know. Does that make me excited to read it? It was $2. Consumerism got the best of me, and I was having FOMO because everybody's read it. I had it, and I was like, I just want it for my shelves. I want it for my shelves. The next book I picked up, which you guys, Goodwill knows who Colleen Hoover is, and they marked up her book to a $2.99. I'm just kidding. Well, no, I am not kidding, but I am kidding. Like, it's not like marked up, but it is marked up because all paperbacks at Goodwill are $1.99, but they saw Miss Colleen Hoover's name and they're like, no, we could charge $2.99. This one is All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I think this is about a girl who deals with fertility issues, and it's about her marriage, and that's kind of what I know about it. Honestly, whenever I find a Colleen Hoover book at the thrift store, I pick it up because Colleen Hoover, I want to read her work. Everybody has read her work. But have I read any of them yet? No, I have not. So, I'm trying to read her books. I'm collecting them, but not necessarily reading them. I feel like I need to do a special vlog just dedicated to all the Colleen Hoover books on my TBR and be like the first time reading Colleen Hoover and see what my thoughts are. The next book I picked up is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. So this is a fantasy author that I have been wanting to read for quite some time, and I found this at the thrift store. I have no idea what it's about, but it was, I think I actually wrote on there. There we go, $1. I picked it up. And honestly, I don't really find fantasy books at the thrift store often that I want to read, so when I do, I just kind of pick them up, and we have this one. No idea it's about though, so yeah. But I'm excited to read it because it's Naomi Novik, and I've heard a lot of good things about her. Did I say Novak? I'm like thinking Law & Order SVU in my brain, like Miss Casey Novak. No, it's Naomi Novik. Next book I picked up is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. So I actually already own this book, and I read it last month. And I really enjoyed it, and I was talking about unhauling my edition of the book because it had so much water damage on it, because I took it to the beach, it got wet, and all the pages were just like, no. So then I saw this one at the thrift store literally like 2 days ago, and I was like, oh my god, the perfect opportunity to replace my book, because my book that I bought from Barnes & Noble is all warped and gross, and this one I found in perfect condition for $1. Okay, perfect. Just buy it, swap it out, there we go. The next book I picked up, this one, I was so excited to find this book. I paid $1 for it. And I was so excited because this is a book that I have almost bought at Target, at Barnes & Noble multiple times, because this is a book that has been on my radar. I've been wanting to read it. And it's a new release. And I found it for $1 at the thrift store, which means the person who read it obviously didn't really like it. She's like, no, get rid of this. But that is A Drunk on Love by Jasmine Guillory. I literally like almost screamed in the bookstore when I found it. Or not the bookstore, the thrift store when I found it. So I was like, oh. So yeah, the reason why I did not buy this at the regular store is because Jasmine Guillory has not been a consistent author for me. I have rated like her ratings of her books go like this: 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. Those are all the books I read by her. I read 3. They all have a 2, 3, or 4-star rating. So it's not like a consistent author that I'm like, here you go. Here's like how much is this? $17. Take my money. No, like she's not at that level for me yet. So this one I got thrifted. I'm very excited about it. This has to do with, I don't even know what it's about. I forgot, to be honest. It has to do with like a vineyard, like a wine farm, whatever. Vineyard, fall in love, I don't know, drunk on love, cute. New release by Jasmine Guillory. I'm not gonna pass it up. This book, you guys, this book. I already owned this book because I had already thrifted this book. But then I found a signed copy of this book. And if you don't recognize this author's name, then you've clearly never watched one of my videos because I talk about her all the time. She is one of my all-time favorite authors, and that is Ellen Hilderbrand. And there is her signature. There is her signature. And I got it for under $4. Like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? I have no idea what this book is about. I don't really know what any of her books are about. I just picked them up based on her being the author because I read 8 of her books in 2022, absolutely loved all of them, so now she's just an auto buy for me. So there we go, we have this one. It's a signed copy, and I just cannot believe I found a signed copy at the thrift store. Like, are you kidding? And the last book that I thrifted this month is The Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. This is book 2 in the Infernal Devices trilogy. I believe this is a trilogy that comes after the Mortal Instrument series, which I only have one book left to read in the Mortal Instrument series, which is City of Heavenly Fire. After that, I'm moving on to Infernal Devices. I don't own the first book, but I found this book 2 at a thrift store for $2. So, like, I know it's coming up soon in my TBR, so, like, I'm just going to buy it. And now we're going to be moving into my Kindle daily deals. If you don't know, Kindle puts select books on sale every day. They change up the books, and you can get them for really good prices. And I try to track how much I paid for each book this month so I could, like, tell you guys, like, ooh, look at the prices. Like, you guys need to be doing Kindle daily deals. Because honestly, like, I know everybody hypes up book hauls, but can we hype up Kindle hauls? Because Kindle hauls are like way cheaper than Barnes & Noble hauls. So we're gonna go over all the books that I bought on my Kindle this month. So the first book that I got on my Kindle daily deals this month is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. So quite honestly, I have no idea what this book is about. I paid $4 for this book, and this is a book that was super hyped up on, okay, so this is the book that was on everybody's best books of 2022 list. So then all the booktubers who did not read this book in 2022 read this book to film their reading other booktubers' favorites of 2022 videos. So this book was being constantly pushed in my face in December, in January, and then I saw it on Kindle Daily Deals. I bought into the hype and I bought it. And I'm really glad I did because someone commented on my video saying this would be the perfect book to get me out of a reading slump. It is under 300 pages. I've heard nothing but rave reviews about it, so I am very excited to read this one. The next book I picked up on my Kindle this month is Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. So this one I picked up for $4 on the Kindle Daily Deals. And this is a huge fantasy book, which honestly, when it comes to huge fantasy books, it's so much better to read them on your Kindle because, like, it's just so lightweight instead of, like, lugging around, like, so heavy, right? No, you have your Kindle, lightweight. We love it. One is a historical fantasy. I think it's a bit slow burn. I think it's, like, I don't really know. All I know is my favorite booktubers have read this book. I've heard great things about it. And I just have FOMO. I just do. So if I see something for a cheap price I hear other booktubers talk about, or that I hear one good review about, I'm like, okay, let me buy it. Like, the consumerism on booktube is real. I am victim to it, and now I own this book. When will it be on my TBR? Who knows? But now I own it, and it's on my Kindle, so I can pick it up at any moment. The next book I picked up this month is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. So this book is a book I have, again, no idea what it's about, but it is so hyped up. I feel like everybody and their mother is reading Once Upon a Broken Heart this, like, past 2 months. I just heard nothing but great things about this YA series. I believe people say you should read Caraval before reading this series, which honestly, like, I don't really have that much interest in Caraval, but if people say I should read it before reading this one's getting pushed way back on my TBR. So let me know in the comments if you think it's really important to read Caraval before this one. But I do have this one. Again, heard nothing but positive things about it. It's a YA fantasy, and I just love YA fantasy. I love all fantasy, but there's just something about YA fantasy that is so comforting and it's just such a good time and just always just, like, so interesting and very fast paced. So yeah, I'm very excited for this one, and I got this one I think for $4. The next book I picked up on my Kindle is White Tears, Brown Scars: How White Feminism Betrays Women of Color by Rumi Hamad. I'm very excited to pick this one up. I read the intro, and I read part of chapter 1. I started it like 2 nights ago. So far, what I've read, I've enjoyed so far. There's already things that I'm highlighting, already things that I'm learning, and I'm just really interested in this topic. I feel like nonfiction is going to be the perfect way for me to get out of my reading slump because I'm really interested in like podcasts and political podcasts right now, and just kind of like real world topics. So I feel like to get back into reading, it'll be great to read nonfiction and just kind of read about real world topics. And I'm not really well versed in nonfiction, and especially not in like feminism and racial issues. So I'm just really excited to read this one and just be better educated on these topics. And yeah, I'm just very excited to read this book. I did pick this up on Kindle Daily Deals and I paid $2 for it. And the very last book that I read on my Kindle this month, or I bought this month, is The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. I'm sorry, I just like don't feel like waiting for it to download and then like showing you the title screen. It's The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman, which I did buy this book actually back in December, a physical copy of this book. So now but I bought it 50% off at Barnes & Noble during the hardcover sale. I bought this ebook, it was on sale for $4.99, so I bought it there on the Kindle Daily Deals because honestly, like if I have something on my Kindle, it's just like a better chance that I'm going to read it. Like even books that I have on my physical TBR, I've been checking out the ebooks from my library and reading them on my Kindle just because it's just easier for me to read on my Kindle at the current moment. The third book in the Thursday Murder Club series, and I absolutely love that series. It's just such a fun, cozy mystery series following these 4 senior citizens in a retirement village. It's just one of those like books where you pick them up and you just feel like so at home and you feel so at peace and you feel like you're part of their family when you're reading them. And I don't really know what this one is about. I think in this book, they're actually following a real cold case in this book versus the other 2 were like kind of like real-time mysteries. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this, and I picked it up again just because I like to read on my Kindle more than physical books, but I like to own the physical books for the looks on my shelves. But anyway, those are all the books that I thrifted, that I purchased, that I got through Kindle Daily Deals in February. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!